Hey everybody, wanted to do my April wrap up and then the May Tbr, which probably isn't going to change very much of what you see right here. So I had 3 books left from last month's Tbr that I didn't get to, which was March. And then in April, I read 1.5 of them. I didn't do very well. Finished The Blade itself, put down Warrior of Altai. I told you I made it about 10 chapters into that one. And then Leaping Wolf, I'm still reading and I'm really enjoying it, and I think I'll be able to get it done pretty quickly. But putting it back on the TBR because I want to finish it. And it's my priority for this month because I've been trying to read it for 2 months now, and I want to get it done. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. I'm just, quarantine is rough on me. Also on my TBR, I had The Gods of Mars, which is in here. Didn't get to it, so now I have to do The Gods of Mars and I believe The Warlord of Mars. Those are both by Edgar Rice Burroughs. I really enjoyed Princess of Mars back in March and wanted to get to it. I know the guys that are doing the read along, they just posted, Pints just posted the live stream that they did. It was like 2.5 hours, so they must have really enjoyed it and talked for a long time about it. And I'm excited to, I listened to the first one today actually, because I didn't realize he'd posted it yet, and I laughed my butt off on that one. So want to see the second one once I finish this one up. Leaping Wolf I'm in process of. That was last month's TBR. Also Way of Kings. I was listening to that on the audiobook. I finished it, loved it. We filmed a panel. I'm uploading that as we speak. Also been working with the kids on Wizard of Oz. This was in my TBR. Didn't get it done. We did listen to about an hour of it on audiobook, but we didn't get any more of that done. And then also Positive Parenting for Autism. I was able to finish that this month. It was on my Kindle. It was by Victoria Boone. And I'm still going to go back and reference that because there's a lot of information in there. I kind of wrote in my review that I wish I had the physical book because there's a lot of workbooks and worksheets and stuff that I could probably open up and, because the audiobook, they just kind of cut a worksheet in half, where I know they wouldn't have done that in the book. We also had Warlord, Fury of the God Machine, which is on here by David Annandale. I didn't get to it at all. I think it stayed in that spot the whole month because I didn't get a chance to get to it. But Metro 2033, which I loved, was really good. I listened to it on Audible, bought it a while back, and the setting was fantastic. They actually include a map of the Metro in here, and it's really cool seeing where RTM, the main character, went throughout the story. I'm going to do a review on this one. I'm really excited to talk about it. I'm glad that I listened to it on audiobook and then kind of read along because you get the Russian names so much better because the audiobook narrator knows how to say them. And for me, that was super crazy helpful because I would have never got some of these names right. Like Pulichnaya and Olchieski of a bunch of names that there's no way I'd have got them right, and the audiobook narrator helped me out a lot on this one. Also listened to Dark Matter on audiobook. I did well on audiobooks, just the physical books that I had trouble with. I'll link the blog that I did for Dark Matter up above. It was really, really good, and I enjoyed it immensely. It was one of those that kind of got me talking to my wife about theories in science. So that's always nice when I come home and be like, babe, do you know about this scientific theory? She's like, no, I don't. I don't know about that at all. Also, the quickest audiobook I've ever listened to, Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. I listened to it while working on an elevator door. Maybe 2 hours at the most on this audiobook. It was pretty good. It was a good start to the series. Stuck really close to the Netflix series that I'd already watched, and I enjoyed it. So it was good. Also on audiobook, I listened to Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. And that was a book about her mental illness and how she struggles with that. She has depression. She has depression. A couple other things that's going on with her that she is working through. She tells a lot of jokes. I'm thinking she runs a blog, and through her blog, she did a lot of self-help stuff. And then at the end, she had a really touching moment that spoke to me, and I really appreciated that. And then I also wanted to read The Stand by Stephen King. Didn't get to it. It is a story about a pandemic that kills a ton of people, and then the story of the people that go along with it. It is very integral to Stephen King's multiverse kind of thing that he's doing. And want to get to it, but haven't had a chance to this month. Do Andrew's Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the idea behind Blade Runner. Wanted to get to it. That's by Philip K. Dick. I'm really excited to read it. I just didn't get to it. And then Ensign Flandry by Poul Anderson. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Poul Anderson, and I want to read some of his books. I actually have like 4 or 5 of them, and wanted to do that. But then I did this thing. I'll show you a screenshot here. I signed up for NetGalley, and I was like, oh, first 2 books that I asked for, I didn't get. And then all of a sudden, I got 11 books from NetGalley. So the first one that I got was Shorefall, which is book 2 in the Foundry Side series. Which is by Robert Jackson Bennett. And I just finished it today, and it was really, really good. So that was another book that I crossed off my list. I read 2 short stories by William Faulkner. I got Red Leaves and That Evening's Sun. And then Tor.com was giving away all the Murderbot short stories. So I read the first one, which is All Systems Red. And then with Deanie, I read Welcome to Your Authentic Indian Experience Trademark. Actually, I listened to LeVar Burton read it, but, I did that short story. And then The City Born Great. And so, I clicked on Deanie's video, got the link to the short story, read it real quick, and then hopped back to her video and commented on it. So, in all honesty, I actually read 8 books and 4 short stories this month, and I just felt bad about it for some reason. I don't know why I didn't feel like I got a lot done, but I actually did. And most of the ones that I felt like I got done were audiobooks, and so actually physically reading I had a hard time with. So maybe that's why I didn't feel as accomplished as I could have. But I'm just going to take my TBR and amend it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read The Gods of Mars and The Warlord of Mars, which are both in this series. I got five of them in here. And then The Warlord, Fury of the God Machine, I'm going to switch out with one of those NetGalley books, which I'll show you a picture of it here. Not knock all this over. Okay. And then I'm going to show you a picture of it. It is right here. Will be Xenos, which is the Eisenhorn #1 by Dan Abnett. Yes, Dan Abnett. So I'm going to switch this one out. I'm going to read that one. It's going to be on my Kindle, which is right here. So that's part of the TBR for next month. And then we're going to do Leaping Wolf, already in it. It's pretty good. It's a page turner. It's really good. If you haven't checked out J.P. Harker yet, please do. Wildcat was amazing. He sent me that one, and then got this one because I like the first one so much, and then I'm probably going to pick up the third one, and he's working on a 4th one. So if you guys haven't checked him out, he's great. Support a self-published author. His books are really good. I'm going to do a review, in-depth review for both of those. So The Stand as well. I'm gonna do it as soon as I can. Do Android's Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Ensign Flandry, and then I'd like to get to, I'm looking at the page right now, probably The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi is one of the ones that I was given. I might start with that one. I got Firewalkers by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And then, Shorefall is the one after Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. I've got Ink and Sigil. I've got Quantum of Shadows by L.E. Modisett Jr. I've got A Declaration of Rights and Magicians by H.G. Perry. I've got all 3 of the Collapsing Empire books, from John Scalzi. So, the first one, second one, and third one. And the third one comes out, it just came out April 14th, 2020. So try to get to that. The Founding by Dan Abnett, which is a Black Library, Warhammer 40K. The Devastation of Baal. Xenos, I'm going to try to read. So I've got all these books on my Kindle. So I'm going to be heavy Kindle reading this month after I get that done. And then I finally need to finish the Narnia books, so by C.S. Lewis. So The Last Battle is the final one in that series. That'll finish that up for me. So let's say, tentatively, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books, maybe, on the TBR. And if I can get to more, I'll get to more. If I can't get them all done, I'm not too worried about it, because I stress myself out a little bit with this TBR, and that's what we're going to go with. So, yeah. And I'll hit a couple more Faulkner short stories. Hopefully ramp up to Absalom, which the guys at Codex Cantina are reading. I'd like to get my Yappa Nappa Lakam certificate. I can't say that. It's a big, long word. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you'll get a bunch more stuff like this, which sometimes is silly nonsense. So, talk to you later. Bye.